Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 256. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
Anthony's done running. Anthony, how are you?
That's right. I ran all the way home.
You probably could have by the time you were done.
Pretty much, yeah. But so, I am here and I am home.
Yes, no, you are definitely home. Absolutely. You ever just think about stop running? Okay. No, so we both had some good weekends. Last weekend. First and foremost, right off the bat, we want to thank our special co-host last week, Sean Law.
Yeah, Sean, thank you very much for stepping in for me as I was indisposed.
Yes, as you were somewhere passed out on Queens Boulevard, I think.
I don't think we ever made it to Queens Boulevard, but I understand what you're saying.
Sean Law from the Ring Crew podcast. Check them out wherever you listen to podcasts. Great show. I'm on it as well. But Sean was on, and we talked about a topic that I've been wanting to talk with you about, Ann, for a long time. Just had the opportunity to, trust me when I say barely scratch the surface on a topic of board games.
Ooh,
and
yes.
What me and him talked about was specifically Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, and thank you for waiting for the week for me to not be here to talk about a topic that I would love to talk about.
It's when I asked him if he wanted to be on, and then I just forgot that he was so into it. That I'm like, you know what? That kind of lends itself. So, and like I said, though, barely scratched the surface. I mean, as much as we talked about.
It was good.
Did
from what I heard.
We play D&D? I don't think so.
No. I don't think we played D&D.
Okay.
I played D&D before we met.
Same with me. Yeah. It was like a grammar school thing.
It was mostly a grammar school thing for me too. I think high school kind of like everybody went their own ways, different high schools, and I think we kind of stopped there.
Then Magic came out, and that was it.
Yeah, and then people just wanted to play with cards.
But no, it was a great show, and even and I didn't even realize Sean's a huge board game aficionado, just like yourself.
Yeah, we'll have to have him back for a board game episode.
Absolutely, because definitely, board games are retro. A lot of these board games.
Yeah, a lot of retro board games are coming back. It's very interesting, and a lot of retro video games have been made into board games,
which I still find amazing. Like the Super Mario Brothers board game and the Pac-Man board game, which I think someone re-released. They made an updated version. Yeah,
and then there was the Centipede board game.
That I don't remember. I remember a Tetris board game. Don't ask me
Tetris, how. No. There's this new Centipede board game. It's a new board game based off Centipede.
Oh, I didn't realize it was new. Okay.
Yeah. And then there are two Oregon Trail board games.
I've seen one of them.
Which I have both of them, I think. And it's really fun because you die of dysentery all the time, just like in the real game.
Just like in real life.
Just like in real life. Yes, dysentery for everybody. Yes.
Is it? I find that weird. Like I had Monopoly, right? Everyone had Monopoly, and then when Monopoly came out on a video game, I'm like, God, this is so much easier. Let's play on the board game. Let's play on the TV. Game. But then you're like, here I am playing Super Mario Brothers. Man, I wish I can take an hour to set up a board and then spin dice or whatever to play on. In real life, here we go. I can lose half these pieces.
Well, but then you also got to a video. Look how Mario has evolved. You went from this obviously the simplicity of just playing the game to then you have Super Mario Maker, where you spend hours creating your own boards.
That's true. We'll do what I do. Just wait for everyone else to make the boards
and then download them. Yes,
absolutely.
Fully support that. By the way.
and then me and him also touched on Hero Clicks, which me and you played.
Oh,
we played Hero Clicks.
A lot. Hero Clicks was our big thing for sure.
It was. I told him how you stole my Joker, my unique Joker. I did
not steal your Joker.
So, and then some other things.
It was a legal transaction.
It was very much a legal transaction, but man, I got robbed big time. Well, let me ask you this, because I talked about it last week, but now with you on the show, I want to get your memory of. Remember the time, because I told him, and I think he was kind of shocked that we did it, when we bought a crate of Hero Clicks.
We did that I think 2 or 3 times.
I remember.
Maybe not with you. Maybe not with
thanks.
you.
Well, I remember the one time because it was at my house that we unboxed it.
Yes.
I think that's when Frankie came over for the first time. My parents were like, "Who's this guy?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. He's with us." And then we just went through it.
5 minutes after he started talking, it's like, "Who is this guy?" Really?
And there he is trying to wheel and deal. I got this Spider-Man. You got a Doc Ock? I'll take a Doc Ock. Frankie, we love you. But that night, though, literally, there had to have been what, each box came with like when you bought it normally it was 4 pieces in a sleeve. There must have been about 50 sleeves in that box. No, more than that probably.
Yeah, no. I think there were only, were there 50? I thought there were like 36 in a case.
Well, that was a lot for a normal human being.
Yeah, or it was either 36 or 48 because I remember there were 4 of us and we were able to split it evenly.
It was 4 of us. That's right.
Yeah, there were 4 of us. So no, there were 4 of us because we split it evenly. I think we either got 9 or 12 packs each.
Yes.
So,
and I think I came out on the losing end as far as uniques.
You did. I do remember that. I think you wound up with like 2.
I probably did. And then later on, I had the Sentinel, the big giant piece, and then which I didn't realize something I'd like to. I might even just get them just to collect. You know, like how it ended up going into like the WWE Hero Clicks and stuff like that. So that game is still going on. But yeah, definitely if you didn't get a chance to listen to it last week, definitely check it out. Great episode with myself and Sean Law.
Yes, absolutely listen to it.
This week we got some interesting stuff to talk about. We both kind of had like, I wouldn't say well, mine's not as much of a milestone as yours, but nevertheless, you were kind of busy, and I think our fans who kind of knew what was going on, the reason why you weren't here last week, what was it like, Ant? Because you decided to run through, voluntarily run through 5 boroughs of New York City with no one chasing you.
Yeah, I absolutely did that, and I did it on the Nintendo Power Pad, I swear.
You couldn't just get on the floor?
No. I was just standing on top of it going like that, with my feet. Yeah, so not video game related, so I won't go too long on it. But yeah, so
it's us.
Yeah, it's us. Voluntarily decided to run the New York City Marathon, but I had decided that years ago. Like I've been applying to it for years, and I finally got in last year. The pandemic squashed it. They gave me an opportunity to do it this year, and I didn't want to pass it up because it's the 50th New York City Marathon. So I definitely wanted to do it. And I will say it's an incredible experience for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, it's a major accomplishment to be able to run or walk that actual length of 26.2 miles, because who in their right mind would do it? I am not in my right mind, clearly, because I did it. So that was, so just being able to accomplish something like that, like, is like just really amazing. It's also my second marathon. So, because 4 years ago I did the LA Marathon.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
So I've now completed one on each coast, and by the way, that is it. I will not be doing any more marathons.
No Chicago, no Boston.
No, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. New York was always my goal, and I said, once I did New York, I was like, I'm good. And thankfully, I had forgotten how grueling the LA Marathon was before I did this one, because if I remembered how bad it was, I might not have done this. So anyway, so yeah, it was really cool. One of the coolest things about it, obviously, besides going through all 5 boroughs, just the start of the marathon, running over the Verrazano Bridge, which obviously, like, I've been in cars and driven over so many times in my life because I grew up in New York. Just being able to run over it and just stop and get a view of the city over the water and everything is just absolutely stunning. I did not take pictures while I was running.
Did you feel they say you could feel the bridge sway?
Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. So if you don't want to know what that feeling is like, I urge you not to ever try this. Because once you know that bridge moves and the size of that bridge, I don't know if you'd ever want to drive over it.
It is a suspension bridge. But you can either run a marathon and start on the Verrazano Bridge, or do what I do and get stuck in traffic on the GW the George Washington Bridge, for 45 minutes, where Anthony's went side to side. Mine was bouncing up and down. So.
Yeah, exactly. So you have your choices on which ones. I forgot to silence my phone.
Is it true that before the race, when everyone was just waiting on the bridge, like at one point, just people just whizzing off the side of the bridge?
No.
I've always heard that. And then that's apparently a terrible urban myth.
One of the things they warn you of when you're about to leave for the bridge.
Toll?
No toll, thankfully. I didn't have my Easy Pass on there.
Everyone starts slowing up, holding the Easy Pass above their head.
Or no, they just take a picture of your bid number and then they mail you the ticket.
It's like, it's $3 extra for that.
Like $20, everybody. No, so whatchamacallit? So before you leave your starting corral, there are porta potties everywhere. So, and they tell you, they're like, if you have to use the restroom do it now. There won't be any on the bridge.
Yeah.
So two things they tell you: use the bathroom before we head off, and then the second thing is any clothes that you don't want to wear, don't put them in the donation bins because they don't want anybody throwing them on the bridge because nobody collects them on the bridge.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, going over the bridge is really awesome. And then like I'll try and be brief. I'm already going too long.
No, it's people are interested. You know, a lot of people would like congratulating you and wishing you luck and everything.
They were,
so.
and my heartfelt thanks to everybody. You know, to everybody who did follow. And
I didn't.
And thanks, I know you didn't. Thanks a lot. But the thing that I was most surprised with, and my friends Rich and Trish, and Rich has been on the show before, and Trish has been on the show before actually too. And they had prepped me, and they said, oh, they're like, you know, be prepared for people, you know, people cheering you on in the race. And I'm like, who? And they're like, oh, just people. They're going to come out and cheer you on. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. You know, and I'm thinking nothing of it because I'm like, I mean, it's a marathon. I'm running. I go, who's going to come out and cheer you while you're running? But you want to talk about, like, I was stunned with how much New York has embraced the marathon as like a major event, because from the second I started to almost the end, because I had finished late, so towards the end there weren't that many people, but for like 80% of the race, it was like a party.
Oh, I can.
It was.
I feel like I can see that. Like you see it on the news and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, people lined up on the sidewalks, but not just like it. Like you would think that I thought maybe in the beginning and at the end, but it was like no, all the way through. It's like you just had everybody cheering you on. There were stages set up for bands in places, and bands were playing. They had DJs going wherever you were.
That's cool.
It was absolutely amazing, and there were even parts where you were. Like when we got to like Brooklyn, like down by Atlantic Avenue, Flatbush area, I know I'm being specific to
no, do it. It's
no, I know. But like when you got to that neighborhood, there were so many people on the streets that like it was really narrow to even run through. Like you can maybe fit two runners side by side because everybody had piled off the sidewalk into the street too. It was just so it was just really cool to see New York come out and support everybody who was torturing themselves with the marathon. So that was really cool. And then Rich and Trish met me like somewhere a little bit after mile 12. Okay. So I got to see them and say hi, and they had a nice little supportive posters for me that they were holding up.
Don't die.
Actually, that would have been the best one. But a lot of really like you know, and that it was really cool to see some friends on the course, like Jack and his wife Johanna.
Very nice.
Met me on the course. Another friend of mine who flew in from LA just to watch the marathon.
Wow, that's a friend.
Met her
Good
on the
Lord.
course. Yeah, it was an amazing experience. And again, like, and I had been training for 6 months for this, so I was like, okay, I'll be fine. And the first half of the marathon, I did great. I was so happy. I was like, I got my pace down. Everything's awesome. I saw you even text me. You were like, oh, play the lotto.
Oh yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, your halftime, I think it was. Your split was like 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 22 seconds.
Yeah, it was 2:22:22.
It was, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I was like, that's awesome. I was like, and then so my first half was great, and then I started. It was a very weird thing because this didn't happen to me while I was training. I started to get heartburn.
Okay.
Halfway in, and I'm like, this is weird. I've never had this happen before. And then it just kept, and then it started to get worse and worse and worse to the point where like I couldn't catch my breath while I was running. Okay. Because the heartburn was so bad. Oh, and I didn't know what to do because I didn't read up on anything with heartburn and running. So I was like, well, do I go to the medical tent? Do I just keep going and hope it goes away? I didn't want to go to the medical tent because I was concerned they would pull me out of the race. So like, if I go over to them and be like, hey, I have really bad heartburn. I can't run anymore. They're going to be like, okay, sir, you're done. So I was like, and I already had said, I'm not doing this again. I was like, especially at the halfway point in my head, I'm like, I am not doing this again. There's no way. So I pretty much walked the second half, most of it. When I got to the last like 2 miles, and I was just, at that point, I was just getting angry. because I'm like, because now it was daylight savings time, so the sun,
that's right,
so
yeah.
the sun went down,
It did,
and then
yeah.
it started to get cold. So
Yep.
now I'm like, it's cold, it's dark, and I'm walking the last 2.5, 3 miles, and I'm like, no, I'm done. I don't care. I was like, screw you, heartburn. And I just started running again, and I had to do like a run walk thing, but I ran and walked like the last 3 miles.
Okay.
But bottom line, I finished. So happy that I finished.
Awesome. Yes.
And again, to everybody listening, watching our show, to all my friends, family who supported me, it's like a really, really big thank you. Yeah, I mean, the support I had was just amazing, and that also helped push me
Good.
to complete it.
Excellent.
And if you give me 1 second, I'll be right back. 1 second.
Well, Anthony's going to walk away. I think I know what he's going to go get. But in the meantime, while he's waiting for that, or while we're waiting for him to come back, yeah, we're going to. Oh wait, never mind. He's already back. That was quick.
My microphone is not near me. Hello.
Oh, okay. Well, we heard you.
Oh, that's good. I always forget that. But I just wanted to bring over.
There it is. Look at that thing. Nice.
It's got
I'm not going to lie to you.
To it.
The way the way it's designed, I thought it was cracked, but that's just where the difference in the thing is. No, that's
just the design. You can see the design, and then on the back. I didn't get it engraved because
that's what they wanted. They were talking about because so I downloaded
on the back.
App,
you can engrave it. Yeah.
Was just what your finish time,
your name, and what time. Yeah. And how
okay. You write that in with a Sharpie.
Sure. Oh wait, I have one right here.
But because I downloaded the New York City Marathon app, like you told me, and that's how I was able to track you. My mother was watching on the app the entire time.
Oh
like,
yeah, your mom was amazing. I was like, Beth, I love you. She tracked me the whole time.
Stop reminding me. But I had to finally delete it because a few days after it kept saying, show up back here to get your medal engraved for free or whatever like that. But you can get that engraved wherever.
So, yeah, exactly. You can get that anywhere. Yeah. And unfortunately, I couldn't stay in New York anymore. I had to go home. I had a business trip this week.
Yeah,
so,
yes.
So I barely had time to get home. And then a little extra special thank you to Jack for getting me back to Brooklyn after the marathon.
Oh, he got you back? Okay, good.
Because when the Harper thing happened, and I saw him at mile 6. I think I met him at mile 16 or 17. And I just asked him. I said, I'm sorry to ask. I go, but what are you doing later? he's like, nothing. I said, can you please meet me at the finish line? I'm like, because I explained the whole thing. I go, I don't know what condition I'm going to be in when I get there, and I might need help. So he's like, no problem. So God bless him. He hung around the city for like an extra 3 hours, and he helped get me back to work. I honestly, I really don't know how I would have done it.
I also was able, through the app, I was able to pull up, like I didn't save them and I'm not buying them, but I was able to pull up your photo finish. And,
you did?
And yeah, you did not look happy.
No, when I finished,
you look relieved, but you didn't look happy.
No. When I finished, as I crossed the finish line, I smiled.
Yes, you did.
And then the exhaustion hit. Like literally, like your body knows the second you're done.
It's like when you're heading home and you got to pee. And know when you're by your door.
Oh, and then and by the way, like I pre-ordered all of my photos because I'm I'm only doing this once.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely do not know how to take photos when I'm running. Let's just say that right
who
now.
does?
Well, you look at other people and they're posing and they're doing this and everything like that. And me, every photo, it's like my mouth is wide open. I look like I'm exhausted because I am. I'm like, and then like there's one photo that they took of me where there's like, it looks like there's sheer terror on my face. And I'm like, what was that? What was going on in that moment? I have no idea.
Meanwhile, I've seen you take photos on Splash Mountain, the log flume, and all these other ones, and you're ready to go. You're posing
because I know where they are. Like I wasn't really focusing on where the cameras were. I was just running. So I'm like, so anyway, I can post a couple of photos on the page that everybody can get a good laugh out of.
But nevertheless, so again, congratulations on a wonderful achievement. So
thank you very much.
I think that weekend you were running, I redid my pop vinyl wall. If you look behind me, you might see a bunch of new ones. Not that they're not new; they're just been replaced.
Okay, I wouldn't even be able to tell
with the ton that I have in the back. But I also redid my gaming wall. that weekend.
You need like a you know how the dry cleaners have the
Oh,
rotating.
imagine that'd be
You
great.
need that behind you so they just keep moving and
I
shifting.
wish it was such a hump
It'd be awesome.
to replace. I was just doing it. I'm like, let me just get some fresh stuff out,
Mm-hmm.
and then my entire apartment looked like I was moving in again. So,
of course it did.
be that as it may. But as and your trust me, what you did was amazing. What I did,
What did you
actually
do?
this past weekend was just finally like finally it's done. I have gameplay wise have played basically an entire day's worth of Metroid game. What are you doing?
I'm switching discs in my Polymega.
Are you loading up your Polymega?
Yes.
Okay, folks, if you hear some weird noises
If you
on
hear
the
any
side,
weird noises, it's me. I'm transferring my entire my PS1 collection to the Polymega.
what are you up to?
Well, I actually.
Are you doing it in alphabetical order? Knowing you, yes.
Yes. I'm on G. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm sure it's going quick.
Don't judge me. I'm organized.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll
as
get
I
to that
called
in
you
a
last
second.
week, a book hoarder.
Yes, and thank you very much for that. By the way. I appreciate that. What was I going to say? Finish your story, and then we'll talk about the Polymega.
Oh, I didn't even start my story yet, but okay.
Well, start your story because I have some stuff to
Fine.
talk about with the Polymega.
So I have basically played a full 24 hours of Metroid, between Metroid Dread and Super Metroid, which I finally now beat.
Oh, you beat Super Metroid.
Yes,
okay.
Super Metroid's in the books. I
Yes.
think we're now tied. Maybe 2021's not over, and the race is still
we
on, my
actually-
friend.
Wait, are we actually? I thought
I've
we dropped
rekindled
it.
this.
I thought
I've
we dropped
rekindled
it like
it.
a hot potato.
Nope. After I was playing Super Metroid at I just woke up
Okay.
at 1:00 in the morning. I'm like,
Oh,
let me play
jeez.
some Metroid. Next thing you know, I'm sitting up on the bed because I'm now at the end of the game of
Okay.
Super Metroid. After spending about literally 3 hours walking around the entire map just to realize I had to run over here. And then once that happened, the rest of the game just fell in front of me.
Of course.
But I'm ready to go. I'm psyched.
All right,
I got other Metroid games to go.
If you want to pick it up again, I will pick it up again, and I will destroy you. I don't know if we're tied though. I got to go back and look.
We'll find out for next week.
Yeah, we'll find out for next
But-
week. But for anybody who remembers, we started in 2020
We
this
did.
competition of who can beat the most retro games in the year. And then when the pandemic happened, we decided to suspend it. Not suspend it, but to extend it to
Yeah, I was gonna say,
2021.
It would have been actually the pandemic was the perfect time to start
Yeah.
doing this contest.
And then what happened? I moved across country. I got a new job, and then everything went crazy. So we decided to extend it into 2021, and then 2021 kind of we meandered through it and just forgot about it.
Basically.
But now we
I
are.
don't know. I
back.
got the itch. I kind of
You
got the itch. So
all right, so we're gonna have to get back to it. We
And-
only
and
have
I
a
gotta-
month and a half left.
I'm ready to go. I've already started Metroid Zero Mission,
Oh.
which apparently. All right. So first of all, I get
Talk
through
about
Dread.
it. Yes.
Right. Dread was about what I
I'm
clocked
trying
in
to
at
find
about.
the contest as we speak. Just so you
I
know.
think 10 hours and change. I clocked in with Dread.
With Dread, okay.
right?
Dread, you were like 10:59.
Yeah, I was just shy of 11 hours.
Yeah, just shy of 11 hours, and then I was like 9:20 something.
You were, and then Jack, Bill, Bob was.
No, not Jack. Rich.
Oh, Rich. Oh, Jake. He didn't.
Yeah, Rich did it in like 8.
Okay, which is expected.
Jack hasn't completed it yet.
Okay.
He's the straggler.
Billy Bob, Joe Bob is still waiting to finish it. So, so I moved on, and stupid me after Metroid Dread, after spending all that time on a single game, which don't get me wrong, I loved it, loved
Yes.
Metroid Dread, and I'm gonna go through the hard mode as well. I'm gonna do it later, especially because I overpaid for the damn amiibo for Metroid Dread by $20 just to watch everyone restock them for regular price. So.
Okay.
Fantastic. Only me, right?
So what did you beat?
Super Metroid.
Okay.
So,
So that
and-
was your 8th retro game.
Oh, you pulled it up? Okay.
Yeah. So you have 8 right now. Mine says 10, but it's wrong. I think I have 12.
Oh, I'm
Because
sorry. I don't have 8. I have 15 done. I forgot.
No, because I completed the entire Capcom beat 'em up bundle, and
That should count as one game.
No, and I think there were 6 games on that.
That should count as one game.
I
No
gotta find-
thanks.
No, no. Well, I'm looking it up right now.
This is why I take screen grabs now when I complete a game on the Switch. You hit that button, screen grab.
You know what? I did on our page when I beat these things. They are all, yeah, they were all up on our page somewhere. Anyway, continue.
So I clocked in Super Metroid at 12 hours and 25 minutes.
12 hours and 20.
I am not getting through these games quickly, apparently. And I can't, like, it happens with everything. It's happened with Symphony of the Night. It's happened with Bloodstained, and now it's happening with the Metroids. I don't know why I don't give up. I should give up, but I don't.
No, you shouldn't give up. But well, here's the thing. You know, we've talked about this before. When you were younger, it was a lot easier to give up and just move on to the next game. Now you have such a library of games, you can afford to be stubborn and be like, no, you know what? I'm going to stick to this and finish this.
I guess so. And I mean, I would trail back to places, move forward. I still don't even think I got everything in the game in Super Metroid. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of power up I didn't get somewhere because in the thing, like the last power up I got was, which is in every Metroid game, was the spin attack. But when you pause the game and then you go to like the menu of Samus and your outfit, there's a piece missing there for the morph ball, and I'm pretty sure it's the like the morph bomb, you know, the bomb that sets off.
Oh yes, yes,
everything. Yes. Yeah, not the little one, but the big one. So I'm pretty sure it was that. Wait, no, I had that. I don't know.
I was gonna say you had to have it because like
I did.
Metroid is always set up where you need every weapon,
but
to get
still,
through it all.
I know, but I know I'm missing something. But be that as it may, I'm running around, and the place that I needed to get to, the place that I tried to get to, I must have visited 6 times. Okay. Going, how do I get through this? How do I get through this? Mm-hmm. And then just the 7th time, I'm like, well, let me run. You know, that speed run or whatever it's called. Right. I forgot what it's called. And there I go, blowing through everything. I was like, you son of a... And like, it just, like the feeling, kind of like you crossing the finish line. Yep. When I moved forward in a Metroid game after 2 hours of meandering around the board, it makes me feel good, but I'm frustrated at the same time.
Yeah, that's the same thing. That's absolutely I think it's the same exactly thing as running. Oh yeah, of course.
And then literally a couple nights ago, I was just playing, and I before I knew it, I didn't even realize I was near the end of the game, or I was at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. So because I think I also only like did like 77% of the game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, because it gives you that. I think Dread did that as well. It gave you like percentage of how much you found. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm nowhere near 100%ing Metroid Dread yet.
No.
And I only 77%ed Super Metroid. Mm-hmm. But next thing I know, I'm like, oh, this is Mother Brain. And I just literally, I got out of bed. I sat up on the edge of the bed. And here I am playing, like, with the lights out and, you know, like 2 o'clock in the morning. And boom, beat it. And just... nothing new. This is nothing. This is a staple in Metroid games. Mm-hmm. Then you have to rush to get back to your ship.
Of course, because it's about to blow up.
Happened in Dread. Happened in everything. Happened in Fusion.
Don't mind the noise.
So, what game's going in now?
That was Devil Dice. I went a little backwards, G through D. But it's okay. I'm done with G.
So yeah, and then finally I got through it, and I gotta say, actually, I hate to say it, but Mother Brain was kind of easy to get through.
Oh, interesting.
But what's interesting is, and Dread did it as well. I'm gonna dance around this, not to give anything away with Dread, mm-hmm. but I feel like Metroid games do this, but things happen where it's more like the story's playing out, not as much as you defeating the boss. Because in Dread, and again, it doesn't give anything away, but like you get to a point in a boss fight where like the final hits is all cinematic. Oh. Like you have nothing to do with it. You remember a couple times that happened, yeah. So
it's timing based.
Well, no, even beyond that, like you could put the controller down on like one or two of them, not all of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say but one or two maybe, but there are a few where it's like you have to time a shot.
No, and like the first time you do that, I'm like, oh, it's going into a cinematic. Why am I looping through this 5 times?
yeah, that happened to me too. Because I'm like, wait a minute, I go, I'm not getting anywhere, am I? And then I figured out that I had to actually press on
exactly.
And I'm like, oh, I got it. Okay.
But Super Metroid, and I don't even know. I mean, the game's been out for 30 years. I don't even know if I should if it's a spoiler or not anymore. At this point.
I don't think it's a spoiler.
I don't think so. So
if you haven't beaten Super Metroid at this point in time, or just skip this part, it's a spoiler.
I guess so. If you plan on doing it. Yes. So in Super Metroid, which takes place after Metroid 2, the Game Boy game. And in that one, at the end, you befriend Metroid. Kind of the Metroid
Yes.
sees you as its mother. That Metroid comes back to save you in Super Metroid. And there's a part where it like you think it gets you, and you think there's nothing I can do, but it completely drains you down to one life thing.
Yeah.
On purpose. Again, that's part of the story.
Right.
And then you get to the Mother Brain fight, and it is what it is, and then the Metroid comes in, and again, which I think is now a staple of Metroid games, in the final act, the final boss, where something happens, you get that jacked up suit for the end of the game, which I love the one in Dread.
Yeah, it was cool.
And then like it's a whole new battle, which is almost easier to fight. So, but nevertheless, I beat it. I was like, whoa, I didn't realize that was going to happen. And now I'm just in love with Metroid, a series I never even thought about touching.
Yep. Yeah, and that's how I felt too, because I got through the first Metroid on NES, and I never went back, because I remember like the first, when I did try Super Metroid, it's like I just got stuck, and I'm like, I couldn't understand how to do it. Like the whole open world 2D platformers, when I was a kid, didn't work for me.
I get it.
Like my brain just couldn't figure it out. I was like, now as an adult though, like I love those games. Like Symphony of the Night was where it switched for me, where I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I'm like, and figuring it all out. So once I played Symphony of the Night, I was like, oh, cool, I like these games, but I never went back to Super Metroid. So, and as a result, or the Metroid series. So as a result, I've only beaten 2 Metroid games, which is the first one and the last one.
There you go.
Metroid and Metroid Dread.
And I think I can speak for you, and like when we talk about Metroid, we're not counting the Prime series, and I'm not saying anything bad about the Prime series. It's just it's different and went in a different direction.
Yeah.
But with these,
and the Prime series is really good. Everybody talks about how great they are. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But with these 2D versions, so I got Dread down, I got Super Metroid down, I would have had Fusion down. I'm still debating whether or not to go back to it. But with Zero, and I think I was talking to Rich about this, and I'm like, and he kind of agreed to me, because Rich is in our group here, the Metroid aficionado.
Yes.
The original Metroid and Metroid 2, for that matter, on Game Boy, have no map. Right. No map system whatsoever. The idea was you drew the map yourself.
Yep.
Well, it's 2021, and I've already played 3 Metroid games that have maps built in. Yes. So guess who's not going back to play these games? Yeah. Me. So luckily, though, the first game was remade as Metroid Zero Mission on Game Boy Advance. And they did remake Metroid 2, as Return of Samus on a 3DS, which, again, both wonderful versions. With Zero Mission, so I inquired about it because, I'm getting the analog Pocket, so I'm like, oh, let me get Zero Mission on cart. I can wait, and then I'll play that version. It's a remake of the first game.
Yeah.
And I'm already like a couple minutes in, and yes, it is a remake with some differences, but definitely a remake. You feel the remake. But apparently the cart, like even cart alone, I'm not even looking for in box. Cart alone is like $70. So I'm like, okay, I can pass on that. But then I was seeing carts for like $15. Like, that's interesting. Okay. Turns out they're reproductions. Oh. And I'm like, no, I don't have anything against it. I'm just like, if I'm going to go, I'd rather get the original cartridge. Thankfully, though, you can get Zero Mission on the Wii U for $7.99.
There you go.
So that's what I did. So I actually rehooked up my Wii U purposely now to play Zero Mission, which I'm going to get back into and now heavily get into that. Nice. And once I get through that, I'll probably go back to Fusion, and then I'll have to figure out how to do the Game Boy one, because I started the Game Boy game, and it is a pain in the butt to do without a map, so I might just pick up Samus Returns. We'll see. But that's where I am with Metroid right now. Is a series I never touched, and in the last 3 months, I am all in.
All right. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Me, on the other hand, I did Metroid Dread. I would like to go back and play Super Metroid, since I've never beat it. I've beaten it. I'm just not sure. Right now, I started Final Fantasy IX on my Switch. I downloaded it before one of my trips. And fun story so far, so I'm just kind of rolling through that. However, since you've decided unilaterally that we're rekindling the game challenge that we had both agreed was dead, Now I actually have to go back and focus on other games that won't take me as long, so I can make sure that I beat you. Which, by the way, right now, you have 8 games on your list. I have 12.
I think they should be weighed a little bit because my games, I think only one of them I've done in 2-player mode.
I don't think you need to weigh them at all. Thank you. When your list includes Kung Fu and The Little Mermaid.
Okay, whoa. I have it documented how I did not successfully get through Kung Fu, okay? Yes, it is a difficult game.
And I was there to document it.
Even my godson, who's 10, when they came over, him and his little brother.
Finished it in like 5 minutes.
No. They're like, where's that game you don't like? I'm like, what are you talking about? That game you don't like. No, the one that you lost on. I'm like, what? And then my cousin's like, Kung Fu. It's like, oh my God, they remembered that?
Yeah.
Hey,
that was a great moment.
That was, and I honestly had no idea that was going to happen.
Oh my God, it was so good.
And The Little Mermaid is a bit of a difficult game to get.
Yeah,
okay?
Sure. How about Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo is another difficult game to get. Okay,
not to beat.
That's what I mean, like to play and to beat.
Sure.
So, all right.
I just want to say that I think that my list currently has way more challenging games than yours.
Anthony was quality over quantity.
Yep.
I was clearly quantity over quality because the night that I beat Waldo and Little Mermaid, I think was actually right before the pandemic because I did it at Game On. We did like a gaming night. That's right. That was like the last thing I did there. Mm-hmm. And then everything shut down. So, all right, well, we'll see. We'll see.
But, when you have stuff like Where's Waldo and Little Mermaid on your list, and I have stuff like Rondo of Blood and Shadow of the Colossus, I think it's a little, lopsided in terms of quality.
You know what? Tomato.
Arcade games aside. Also, Dragon's Lair. I did that run on Dragon's Lair when I live streamed it.
That was a wild one. Yes, cool. I've never gotten through Dragon's Lair. I don't want to get through Dragon's Lair.
That was a lot of fun, actually, to get through. Oh, my game's done.
I just hurt. It sounded like you stepped on the cat.
I know. It does sound weird when you do. Moving on.
Well, how many games have you installed so far?
I don't know.
When did you start this?
This morning. I haven't been home. I got my Polymega, right? We did the unboxing.
Yeah.
And then I left for 2 weeks.
This is true.
So now
you brought the Polymega with you.
Yeah, I know. I just finished installing Grand Theft Auto.
GTA, nice.
GTA. Which
I wonder how it works with London 1969.
I don't know, but I will say this. But when I opened my GTA, I still have the poster.
There you go. At least you don't have the receipt.
And it's got the maps on the back.
Hey, wait a minute.
What?
I didn't realize that. Hold on, open up the map.
Yeah, this is the greatest hits one. Maybe not the original, but it's got Liberty City, San Andreas, and Vice City on it.
Those are the 3 original cities?
Yeah.
I honestly did not know that until now.
And then because it was the greatest hits one, like they were promoting Grand Theft Auto 3 in here on PS2.
Jesus, look at that. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I honestly did not know that.
On my Polymega and soon to be on my Polymega, Iron Man and Exo Manowar.
Oh my God, you have that as well? Yeah. I don't know where I got mine. It's a terrible game.
I don't remember. I think my brother-in-law gave me this copy, and I think he gave it to me because he got it out of the trash.
I believe that.
Yes,
wholeheartedly.
Yeah. But anyway, so again. Since the game challenge is back in play and you've committed to it, you are 4 games behind me at the moment.
Okay.
All right.
And that's including Super Metroid's already included, right?
Yeah. Super Metroid was number 8. Okay. I will say, I'll give the Super Paper Mario is also on your list, which I'm sure was not a short game.
No, that was not. That was fun.
That was one where, like, I remember you said you picked it up after a long time.
Admittedly, yes, I did pick it up, but it was an original save.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. Since I just brought up, I thought we would talk about this really quickly. Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Here. As we all know, last month, Rockstar announced the release of the Grand Theft Auto trilogy for current gen consoles, which were going to be Grand Theft Auto 3, San Andreas, and Vice City. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
So game is out. Reviews not so good.
I've been hearing that. When I read an article headline, GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition is this year's Cyberpunk 2077.
That tells you everything you need to
That's
know.
ugly.
Yeah, that's just no bueno.
That's ugly.
Not good. Not good at all.
People asking for refunds. The digital, I guess, and
Yeah.
physical. Hopefully they'll go back and stuff like that seems to be able to be fixed with patches and everything. Just a matter of them doing it.
Yeah, but again, well, that's what happened with Cyberpunk too. It came out and everybody was like, "This is garbage," and they had to patch the hell out of it. I mean, but we're talking about stuff here where they're like, there's frame rate issues, there's like graphic issues. Like it sounds like there are issues like pretty much all across the board.
Which is weird because these games, they've been released before on PS4, on Xbox One. Again, not like definitive edition upgrades.
Well, that's the thing, not remastered. That's
exactly. That's what I'm saying, though. But still, to take that and tweak it a little bit. But hopefully they'll fix it. I was interested in getting it. I was kind of like, to me, that was gonna be like a Black Friday situation.
Mm-hmm.
But now it might be Black Friday 2022.
Yeah, I would probably hold off on it. Wait and see what happens. But yeah, I was really disappointed to hear that because I was going to pick it up as well because the only old GTA I played was 3. I never played San Andreas and Vice City. And everybody says San Andreas is the best GTA game.
I think San Andreas is the best GTA game. Vice City has the best music because it took place in the 80s. So
then I would like Vice City better probably.
I think you'll enjoy Vice City. It's very like Miami Vice. Very
exactly. That's
Crockett and Tubbs. Yeah.
I was listening to really quickly. I was listening to Sirius XM in my car this morning. They were doing the top songs of 1985, like the top 40 from this date in 1985. Number 1 was the Miami Vice theme.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah,
way to go, Don Johnson.
Yes.
So all right, yeah. So we'll see about that. Hopefully they'll fix it. It's funny too because not only did I read about that with San Andreas, but also GTA trilogy, but also because Nintendo's been picked on for their issues with the N64 emulation.
Yes.
And everything. And, Doug Bowser, which is still, I think, hysterical, president of Nintendo of America, stating that they will be investing into making the online service better, which I think means doing better, upgrading or updating the video games, fixing them. And it sounds like they're going to be dedicating a lot to really the online services. So hopefully we'll see some like really good stuff with all 4 of the gaming services. NES, Super NES, N64, and Genesis. Yeah,
I hope so because again, granted, people are paying for this, so I think you really have to deliver at this point, especially if you're asking for more money from your players. So I hope they're just on top of it. It seems to me like they just released it a little too early. That's all. And it just needed some more. It just needed some more work.
Everyone was complaining like there was, the frame rates for Europe was going to be terrible. Turns out they were already in there, the frame rates for Europe. So I don't know. It's people. Everyone's going to find something. You know what I mean? You can't please everyone. So
that's very true. I'm very hard to please.
I see that. Trust me, I know that. But you've gotten a lot of pleasure out of the Polymega.
I have. Now that we're talking with the Polymega as I'm transferring games to it.
Granted, it's not an analog.
No, it's better than that.
I don't know.
Well, no,
I can play the entire library.
Yeah, I can. What? Oh,
I can play the entire library. Yeah.
Well, and this one promises 90% of the games will work on it.
Okay.
I'm very curious though to see this thing because now that I've actually had an opportunity 2 weeks later to start copying my games over to the Polymega, I'm finding out that whole 90% thing because as I've been copying games this morning. Now, granted, I'm not 100% sure if it's like the game is too scratched, needs to be cleaned, whatever it is. I got to go back and look through them, look at the discs. But 2 of the games I tried copying over would not copy. Really? And when I say would not copy, it would actually start the installation process. Because what's interesting is when you put a disc in, it automatically starts the installation process, but it won't save it to the hard drive until you choose the option to.
Okay.
So, which is interesting. So every game will start to copy. So 2 games that I have, one I don't particularly, if it doesn't get copied in, it doesn't, whatever. One is Caesar's Palace 2000, which is a casino game, which by the way, the only game I've ever seen with a 2-disc case, and it's only a 1-disc game.
I've seen a few of those because
it's
the
very strange.
manual is so thick.
The
That's why.
manual is so thick they had to put it in a
Yeah.
thicker one. So if that one doesn't copy, I'm fine with that because I have the beauty that is Golden Nugget starring Adam West. Who needs to play Caesar's Palace when you have Golden Nugget starring Adam West?
Who needs to play anything else?
Yeah, that's very true. And I told you, Larry, if you play through that Adam West thing, I will count that as a retro game you've beaten.
Well, it would make sense. It's a story mode.
It's story mode. But the game that does not copy, that's got me really sad, is Clock Tower. Clock Tower will not copy.
Really? Oh, no.
And that makes me sad. I'm
no.
sorry. Two games I'm sad about. There's another one that didn't copy. I forgot.
What? How did you find 3?
Buster Groove 2, the Japanese version, will not copy. Yeah. And again, I'll try them again later.
Do they look scratched?
No, I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. Can you play them?
That's the thing I want to find out, because even though it wouldn't copy over, it still gave me the option in the system to play it. So I may still be able to play it. And yes, this thing has scratches all over it. I've had this game for a very long time. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Well, but the old systems would do that to the games sometimes. So
that's true.
Yeah, so it's hard to tell. You know what I'll do while we're talking about it?
You'll give it a shot?
Yeah, I'll pop in. Right. I'll pop in Clock Tower to see. But yeah, so like I've already run across 3 games that won't copy to the hard drive. Clock Tower specifically bums me out because I love that game, and I've never uncovered all the endings in that game. And this also prompted another question, though, that I had.
All right.
Was I'm copying all my games over and great and everything like that. What about my existing save states that are on my memory cards? Is there any way to copy them over? I didn't look into that yet.
I feel like someone addressed that.
Okay.
But I can't remember what it came down to.
Because I would love to copy. I would love to copy those over and pick up where I left off on some games.
Do you have the PS3? No, you never had a PS3. Never mind.
I have a PS3 though.
I thought you never had a PS3. No, like original.
I have one now. I have the original one now, but I don't.
No, you never got one originally.
No.
Because what happened was when it came out originally, there was an adapter, a USB adapter to plug PS1 and PS2 memory cards into.
Oh, interesting.
The adapter nowadays is ridiculous to find and very expensive, and I don't know where mine went. But I think you can use that. But beyond that, the only thing I can think of is getting but that's only for the PS1, like a Memory Card Pro, because that all stores it onto a mini SD, micro SD, excuse me. So you might be able to transfer it over. I'm sure there's a way. Go to the website. I'm sure there's a way.
I'm sure there is, because I don't just need it for PS1. I need it for maybe not Sega CD, but like Saturn. And,
the other ones might be.
Oh, see,
those might be SOL.
So Clock Tower game media is unreadable.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow. And it's
and it just
it just said, sorry, unreadable.
Take back your disgusting game.
It literally vomited out my game. Okay.
That is amazing.
That is awesome. Disc is unreadable.
I guess you gotta get yourself like a $10 disc cleaner or something.
Yeah, I'll see what happens.
We'll go to maybe it's like a music store or something. They'll clean it for free.
I will move on with Kagero Deception 2.
What the hell is that?
Remember the Deception games I told you about?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what this is.
I do remember that. All righty. Very cool.
Tecmo's Deception. That was the first one.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Which, by the way, I've never beaten any of my Deception games, so now I have an opportunity to just plow through them all on the friggin'
Don't just say plow. I'm sure some of them are difficult. And don't be playing on easy mode.
That doesn't matter. I thought it didn't matter as long as you got through it.
Wow, no, everything's been done on normal.
According to who?
I thought that was the unwritten rule of gaming.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You follow rules that I don't know of. No, I mean, I never play anything on easy mode. It's not fun.
You only get like a quarter of the story anyway.
I thought that would be more like your thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Hurtful.
Wow. Hurtful, but true.
Yes.
But yeah. So anyway, the Deception games I would actually like to go through since I have 4 of them. 3 of them on PS1 though. I can't play the PS2.
Yeah, I think one's on PS2, right?
And one's on PS2. Well, it's the same thing with the Clock Tower series. Clock Tower 3 was on PS2.
That's true. You get the Super Nintendo version. Or get that weird Japanese one I showed you.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
I think it's It was only released in Japan, but I think it was, if I read it right, I think it's an upgraded version of the Super Famicom version. But I don't know
Okay.
how close the Super
Yeah.
Famicom version is to the PS1 version.
Well, but the problem is, if I get a Super Famicom version, I can't play it anyway because I can't translate it.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Touche, my friend.
It's also
Touche.
it's also why all the Japanese PlayStation games I bought in Japan are not going on my Polymega. I'll never be able to play them.
Well, you know, some you can probably trick your way through.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII in Japanese, not so much.
So, all right. You know what? We're actually gonna a little programming note for me and you, and I think we'll just skip ahead to the trailer. Some of this other stuff we can talk about next time.
Yep.
That I showed you about.
Absolutely.
Yes, down the road, I'm going to be doing a Kickstarter.
Kickstarter episode. Yep.
Yes. But we want to mention this though before we run out of time, because this dropped maybe about a week ago. This trailer, a wonderful new Christmas movie,
Yes.
which will be available on HBO Max. 8-Bit Christmas.
Yes, starring Neil Patrick Harris and a bunch of kids.
Basically, is there anyone else who's actually in the movie?
No, I think it's just Neil Patrick Harris.
All right. Well, you know what? We want actually for you either watching on YouTube or listening on the audio podcast, pause here in a moment and actually run over to YouTube, look up 8-Bit Christmas, watch the trailer, and then come back. We'll give you like 5 seconds here. So, you know, if you're listening again down the road, just wait 5 seconds.
Yes.
And then we'll talk about the trailer. So pause now and go watch the trailer while I look up IMDb.
All right, you do that.
Yeah. All right.
Yes,
Welcome back. 8-Bit Christmas, folks.
8-Bit Christmas trailer. I'm sorry, that trailer gave me a lot of nostalgia.
It really did, actually, right?
It did. It gave me Christmas story. Yeah, Christmas story vibes. But obviously in a more 80s way.
Oh, totally. I mean, this is pure 80s, and as you saw with the trailer, basically it's the story of Neil Patrick Harris, telling his daughter about him trying to get a Nintendo in the very 80s or late 80s or whatever it was.
That was awesome. 88? No, 89. No, wait, 80, late 80s.
so the comedy is right there. And this kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I don't remember hearing about a movie like this being made, because again, they're specifically talking about the Nintendo. They're showing the Nintendo. So Nintendo had to be part of it.
Of course. And everything Nintendo always is kind of hush hush. So usually when you hear about it, they're already like so far along,
And for a movie on, again, HBO Max, again, it's going to be just a fun family Christmas movie. And yeah, I mean, like, the only people I know in this movie is Neil Patrick Harris and Steve Zahn.
Steve Zahn, I saw that. That was awesome.
So,
but the cool thing about it though is that going through it, again, it harkens back obviously to our childhood.
It did, yeah.
And the quest, whatever, even if it wasn't the Nintendo that you had a hard time finding, but like a game or something like that, just a quest to get the best games or the consoles at the time, because you couldn't order them on the internet. You had to go to the store.
What internet?
You had to go physically to a store to get your hands on one, or you had to wait for that Sears catalog to come in the mail to order one.
Very true. Yeah. I like the part of the trailer when everyone's opening up, getting stuff, and then the kid opens up. It's like bookshelves. Bookends. Because we all gotten that
on them.
Yeah, we've all gotten that one Christmas present. We're like, oh, this is okay. It's not a Turbo Man.
Not a Turbo Man. Or a Voltron in our case.
Oh, Voltron. I remember my big Christmas one. We'll talk about it later as well, but mine was the Ghostbusters HQ that I broke in 3 minutes.
Oh yes, I had that. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Larry.
Yes. Oh my God, my parents were not happy with me.
I know. I remember that, and I had a Castle Grayskull from He-Man.
I don't think I've ever actually had Castle Grayskull.
I did have Castle Grayskull at one point, and it had a microphone that you could talk into.
Did it really?
And it would be like your voice would be really low. I don't know. Was that one? It was Skeletor's Castle. One of them had it, and I remember I had the microphone. It was really fun. Like you just had like a really deep voice, and it was awesome.
So 8-Bit Christmas will drop only on HBO Max starting November 24th.
Very excited to hear that.
Right around Thanksgiving. So that's going to be fun.
I believe it's the day before Thanksgiving.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, 24th is a Wednesday.
20th is a Sunday. 21, Monday, 22 Tuesday, 23 Wednesday.
Oh,
Oh no, it's Thanksgiving.
Drops on Thanksgiving.
Drops on there. There you go.
Oh,
Even
no.
better.
No, wait, no.
The 20th is definitely a Sunday.
No, because today's the 14th, which is a Sunday, which means the next Sunday is the 21st.
All right, hold on. The 29th is a Monday. So a week before that,
Oh,
29, 20, 27, 26, 25,
22.
23, 22. Oh, so this is
the
21st.
24th is a Wednesday. The 24th is a Wednesday.
I would have been showing up to the Barclays Center a day early. That would have been good.
Always listen to me.
Well, it should drop on Thanksgiving because the Christmas season officially starts when Santa Claus ends up at the end of the Thanksgiving Day parade.
And then he asks everybody, wait, how the hell did I get here again?
As he ran the marathon.
Yes, exactly.
But he's just very slow.
He's just getting to the end now. Keep an eye out for the pace car right behind him. That's been going for
a couple
a month.
Small elves. Yes. But we'll when it drops, we'll definitely check it out and we'll give a review of it. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I said to you before we started recording, really, I can't think of anything bad Neil Patrick Harris has done. So he's great and he's funny. I'm sure they're out there, but
well, yeah, he did do Smurfs.
He did do Smurfs, but thank God he's funny. So so we'll check that out. And I think with that we'll wrap because you're apparently still got some games to go.
Yeah. Ooh, this one's done.
It keeps it when it's done though. It doesn't want to spit it out.
One more time here. I'm gonna move the microphone over. All right, ready? Eject. Mission accomplished.
Cats are like, is there a third cat here?
That's coming next. It does sound like a cat when I do this. Ooh, Midway Classics is up next.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It is.
There we go.
You better copy this sucker.
I see. You see it go flying across the room.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
And where can they find us?
You guys can find us on Facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, on Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter at RetroGamersPod. You can watch us on YouTube and Instagram. Is it still?
I don't know. It's IGTV. I don't know what's going on with IGTV.
You know what? Just watch
YouTube
us on
for now.
YouTube. Watch us on YouTube. Listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, and email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
And real quick, for a final, we do want to give a wonderful shout out and congratulations to our friends over at Game On as they opened their third store in Patchogue, Long Island. So if you
congratulations, guys.
Yes, if you're in the tri-state area, I guess really more on Long Island, you got Smithtown, you got Miller Place, now you got Patchogue. God help me if I had the address in front of me. That'll be next week. But congratulations. The store looks amazing. We'll be down there actually probably this week or next week. We'll do some videos, or at least I'll do some videos while we're down there. Yeah. But again, congratulations for the third store. Good luck with that.
Yes.
And with that, Ant, enjoy loading the rest of your games.
I will. I probably when we record next week, I'll still be sitting here.
Probably. You'll just have CDs sticking out of you from the ones that got rejected.
Yeah. I go, what are those? The rejects.
Folks, we will catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.